Hey YouTube, thanks for tuning in. So tonight let's talk about narcissist safe havens. There are certain job descriptions, certain levels, certain careers, certain industries that attract narcissists. And I'm not going to list them all because really a narcissist can show up in any industry, across all industries. Narcissism really is about controlling others, getting them to bend to your will, getting off on, kind of making people's lives miserable. So quite often, unfortunately, we see narcissism show up in a lot of leadership positions, a lot of management positions. And it's funny because if you look at training programs and a lot of different training literature, what you discover is it's really trying to just teach people how to be nice to each other. When you really get down to the bare bones, most of these training programs we should really be insulted by, those of us who know how to treat other people. Because you're sitting here reading it and you're thinking to yourself, who doesn't know this? Who doesn't know not to be mean to others and not to cut them off when they're speaking and not to, twist the conversation? Who doesn't know that? Oh, unhealthy people like narcissists don't know that. So anywho, a lot of management and leadership positions tend to actually attract these types of people because it gives them the very thing that they want so much, which is absolute control over another person and their destiny. So a narcissist safe haven is a place where narcissists can go. They can be themselves. They're protected. They can act out all these narcissistic fantasies of theirs consciously or subconsciously and not get in trouble for it. And the reason they don't get in trouble for it is because they are surrounded by other narcissists. Their boss is probably a narcissist. Their peers are a narcissist. And what's interesting is they tend to throw anyone out of the organization that does not tolerate narcissistic behavior. So if you're not codependent, if you have strong, healthy boundaries, if you know who you are as a person, oh, they're going to get you out of there quickly, honey, quickly, because you basically shine a light on who they are and everything that's wrong. And I would venture to say that organizations that have really high turnover also have a high narcissist head count. And it's probably also a narcissist safe haven. If you were to dig deep into the recesses of the HR files, I guarantee you would find countless complaints that were probably listed under bullying or harassment, which is really just an employee or group of employees who've been dealing with a raging narcissist, but nobody knows what to call it. Part of the problem is people think narcissism is only someone who stares at themselves in the mirror constantly, day in and day out. And there's so much more to this disease or this disorder. There's so much more to what narcissism really is, almost to the extent that it might need to be renamed to really fully capture the complexity and the all-encompassing devastation that can occur as a result of an interaction with this person. They are the closest thing, I think, to evil on earth. But we'll get into that in another video. Narcissist safe havens, though, let's talk about that. So here's the interesting thing about a narcissist safe haven. Everyone protects the narcissist. So a person can find themselves feeling conflicted, feeling confused, feeling like they're going crazy, as you usually will when you deal with a narcissist. And they'll go to a peer or someone who they think might be someone they can confide in. And that person does the exact same thing that narcissists do, maybe not with the same ill intent, but they minimize their feelings. They tell them that they're wrong. They tell them how they should feel. They give them all this corporate speak, to try, or corporate jargon to try to convince them not to feel how they feel. Or they tell them, here's one of their favorite, you're being negative. You need to be more positive. So all this stuff to override how a person really feels inside. And they protect the narcissist within. That's why it's a safe haven, because the narcissist is protected from all angles. They'll never apply for another job outside of the company because they know that they can't get one. They know that they're actually lucky to have the one they have, because not only can they be themselves, but they keep getting paid in spite of all the bad behavior. But what's interesting about the safe haven is usually a healthy person eventually quits And people who are still in the safe haven who protected the narcissist will reach out to the healthy person and be like, I'm so happy you got out. It's really miserable here, you know. But they wouldn't stand up for you when you were there. But once you're gone, they come to you and tell you everything that they've been through. And it makes you wonder why they just won't stand up and speak out against this behavior. But we know the reasons why. Narcissism's roots are deep. It scares people to death. It makes people fear for their livelihood. And therefore people remain quiet, and these people are able to thrive in these safe havens. And it'll only change when people start speaking up about what they've been through and shining a bright light on this disorder.